Masterclass. Beautiful, Patrik Schick. Bravo. This literally just made my day. Oh my God, the arrogance from the Scottish fans going into this game. Not to mention the media was so goddamn biased. Honestly, if you would have gotten your preview from ESPN going into this game, you would have thought that this Czech team was goddamn awful from the way they described them. I mean, hey, listen to this top-class analysis from Stevie Nicol.
I'm surprised you've gone for a win. Why? Because you're normally very dour about Scotland, quite negative about them, and yet you feel they're going to kick off their campaign with a win.
That's only because whenever we've spoken about them up until, what, 6 months ago, there hasn't been anything particularly to get excited about.
Can't say I disagree. This team hasn't been to a tournament since 1998, and I fully commemorate Scotland. They definitely deserve to be at this tournament. But let's continue.
The fact is, I'm going on one game. The fact is, we've just beaten the Czech Republic home and away the last 2 times we played them.
Right.
Allow me to do some homework for you, Stevie. In the first game, all the players, including the coach, were not present in the first game due to COVID-19. The second time we faced off was in Scotland, which Scotland did win 1-0, but if you actually watch the game, it was clear as day that Czech Republic were just unlucky and couldn't find the back of the net. Czech Republic completely dominated possession. They completely outshot this team. And if you did a little bit more homework, you would have saw that Czech Republic actually handled all the other teams in the group and finished top of the group, unlike Scotland. I mean, seriously, you really need to add more context instead of just blindly saying, well, Scotland won 2 games, so clearly they're the better team, instead of looking at the whole situation and taking the full context. It's not like Scotland completely outplayed the Czech Republic in the 2 matches for you to be really this confident and this arrogant. But let's keep going.
So why would you go into this game thinking you're not going to win it? Why would I think they're not going to win it?
Yeah, sure.
And they know they can.
Well, I mean, if you want to use the UEFA Nations League as an example, you can clearly see that after beating Czech Republic, Scotland completely bottled it against Slovakia and against Israel. If anything, if you were an expert analyst, you could have looked at that and saw like, well, maybe this is a team that could actually choke. Like legit, the group was literally in their hands. It was in their own destiny. They only had to tie one of those matches, and they lost both of them. And you know who did come on top? The Czech Republic. Let's keep going.
And then you look at the experience that they've got.
What tournament experience are you talking about? Experience? Man, this is already a joke. But hey, let me hear you out. What kind of experience are you talking about?
You know, they can fill a midfield of Premier League players. The Czech Republic can't do that.
Really, nigga?
And this right here is just ESPN doing the classic English Premier League dick riding again. Like, honestly, if you're really this stupid to think that these Czech players couldn't play for teams like Aston Villa and Southampton, you're out of your goddamn mind. I mean, the only Scottish player who's playing for a top 4 club in the midfield is Scott McTominay, and he's a great player. I'm not going to shit on him for that. I mean, besides the fact that he's more of a rotation player, he did have a very good season, and you know what? I'm not going to knock the players for where they play, and that's my issue. How are you going to dismiss the entire Czech midfield for the simple fact that nobody plays in the Premier League, which, by the way, Thomas Souček was one of the players who came into the Premier League, and honestly, he completely revolutionized West Ham. Prior to playing for West Ham, he was playing at Slavia Prague. Nobody knew who the hell he was, except if you actually followed the other teams, you would have known that he was a quality player all along. But of course, apparently it doesn't really matter until you play for the Premier League. As of right now, Alex Kral, the other player in the midfield, is being recruited by West Ham. Vladimir Darida at one point was being recruited by teams like Everton, but he ended up choosing to stay in the Bundesliga for family reasons. And this isn't even me mentioning some of the forwards we have. If you think Patrik Schick couldn't play for a team in the top 10, you're out of your goddamn mind. As a matter of fact, most of these players, if not all of the players, could have easily played for a team in the Premier League. And it's like this guy's not even self-aware that some of these guys don't even play in the first division of the Premier League. Not to mention some of these guys play in the Scottish League or wherever else. That doesn't make them trash players.
Well, they've got a couple of players that we will know, the likes of Souček and so far from West Ham, but they don't have Premier League players. So, listen, Scotland's got Shea Adams as well, who's had a good season in the Premier League. You got McTominay, you got McGinn from Aston Villa. You got Robertson from Liverpool. You'll have Tierney at the back. I mean, all of those reasons are why they're going to beat the Czech Republic.
Well, that didn't exactly happen, did it, Stevie? Maybe try to expand your horizons outside of the Premier League for once. Like, for Christ's sakes, I'll take Patrik Schick over Shea Adams any day. Any day. And I'd rather have Thomas Václav over your goalkeeper any day as well. As a matter of fact, there's quite a few other positions that I'd rather prefer a Czech player over a Scottish one. And look, do I really want to bash the Scottish players? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. For the most part, from what I've seen, the players are very humble and very respectful. It's mainly targeted at guys like Stevie Nicol and honestly the many people on YouTube who just love to go off the rails and go, Scotland are the better team. They're the best team. They've got players in the Premier League. And you know what? It's just moments like this where you know nothing's going to change. Because at the end of the day, they're just going to turn around and probably bash the Scottish players for being terrible. We're probably going to have Stevie Nichols and probably a few other Scottish panelists out there just going on like, Scotland are terrible. Oh, they couldn't even beat the Czech Republic. They've got no players in the Premier League. And this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to create this channel. And this isn't even to knock some of the football YouTubers. I think a lot of them are great. But I feel like there's a little bit of a void. If I'm keeping it real, a lot of the English-speaking football commentary channels, for the most part, they all come from England or Scotland or Ireland, Wales, you name it. And honestly, I've grown up to just watch so many different leagues. I follow the Bundesliga, I follow the La Liga, Serie A, you name it. And I just feel like somebody with my background is really unrepresented. So I really want to make my mark. And honestly, knowing that people like Stevie Nicol are out there, and to be honest, the fact that I was disappointed in a lot of the football YouTubers who completely dismissed the Czechs, I'm not going to bash anybody, but mark my words, once I really hit my stride, my shit's really going to start to pop off. Mark my words. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm putting that out there. I'm putting it out in the universe. It's going to happen. Let's get it, man. Congrats to Czech Republic, and good try for Scotland. It was a very good game, and Scotland did have a few chances. They might have felt a little bit hard done by, but for the most part, it was a very close game. The scoreline did say otherwise, and Patrik Schick, man, beautiful goal. Goal of the tournament. I did say that Yarmolenko did have the best goal, but that's up until now, man. That was a fucking masterclass. And while I know guys like Stevie Nicol probably prefer Shea Adams over Patrik Schick, but regardless of that, the better team deserved to win, and that's all we gotta say. So this concludes Group D. Czech Republic now sit at the top of the group with England, only goal differential separating them. And hopefully this is a good start for the Czech Republic. Hopefully they don't get blown out by the other teams, but hopefully we do well, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. And by the way, I really don't want to come off that I'm hating the Scottish team, because I really don't. Because honestly, most of those players are so goddamn humble, especially Robertson. I freaking admire that player at Liverpool. Such a humble player. And you know what? There's a lot of Scottish fans out there who were humble and gave us our credit and respect. And the feeling is mutual. But that's going to conclude the video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And stick around later on in the day where I cover the other games. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.